Welcome back to the Collector Zone. I'm Jeff Dickinson. Check it out, man. You remember I did a video on this? I was highlighting my collection for the PlayStation Underground. I scored this back in the 90s when the PS1 first came out. Now, what I did was I showed you the condition, and I showed you a little bit about each one. But what I want to do today is dive in a little deeper. I want to go ahead and put the discs in and show you what they're all about. We're not going to do a deep dive, but we can show you each one and a little bit, let them boot up and all that. I want to also highlight a little bit more slower than I did the first video because I feel like I was going a little bit too fast. So I'm going to show you the books a little more better. We can show you, once again, the condition. These are in really good condition for their age. I only played them a few times and, I enjoyed them. But it's time for us to go to another collector, such as yourself. So let's go ahead and dive into my little stash of the PlayStation Underground. This is going to be killer. So we can go ahead and start from the top of this PlayStation Underground collection. Now, as you remember in the first video, I'll be including this here. Now, I want to go ahead and highlight this first. That way you can take a look here. See what you can get. And as I mentioned in the other video, I said some of these are going to have scratches. They're surface scratches, but they're not like really bad. And I went through all these, and as you can see here, there's no scratches. So it's the other collection I was referring to mainly, because there are some surface scratches on the other ones. But today we're talking about this. So what I'm going to do here is we are going to go and pop this in, and we can check out how it looks when it boots up, and then we can go ahead and go to this next. So let's go ahead and pop this in.
All right, we got the good old PlayStation fired up. Now I'm using my PS2 because I no longer have my PS1. I wound up selling it when I got my PS2 because it plays PS1 games too. Will I ever get another PS1 just to have it? Probably not. But this is what I got. Now, I'm looking at this interactive CD sampler disc a little closer angling under the light, because I was like going, I want to make sure. And there is some light scratches, just to let you know. All right, so let's go ahead and put this in here. It was kind of hard to see. I mean, I don't know. Let it read here. There we go. And now what I do is go to this here. Well, I noticed that, on my capture card here, because the signal breaks, you will see sound bars. For those who know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, but you'll see it here in a second. So if you see the sound bars show up, that's part of it. You'll hear audio, the sound bars, you hear audio, then it will snap into it. So it's just how my old school PlayStation's reading through, going an adapter to read HDMI. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in. Pretty cool, huh? So basically, this is your games here you can get. So we'll just show them. We won't dive into any gameplay, but these are all the sample games you can play, or demo games. And if you hear my chair in the background squeak, I apologize. So here's what we got here. Ridge Racer Revolution. Crash Bandicoot. Now on the sample disc, if you saw earlier, this is copyright 1996. I got this when I picked up my PlayStation. So, let me go down one. And so, I don't remember how I got it. I think either it was given to me when I brought it, they just handed it to me, or something there that I could take. But it has copyright date here, 1996. But I know I got this either when I got my PlayStation, or more importantly, after the fact. I'm all about the free stuff, There's a now when it says video, you can only watch the video of it. So you got 2, 3 videos. Let's hop into a video real quick. Pretty badass, right? So those are the games you get on the sampler disc. Let's go ahead and dive in. Well, not dive in. Let's check out the next disc. So here's the first one. Now I want to show you all the sides. That way you can see the condition. There is a little love to it because, it's cardboard, man. And here's the back end. Now you got the postage stamp here because it got mailed to me. Here's my old school address. My hometown of San Antonio. So yeah, when people ask me, so these are all from your collection? I'm like, yeah, sure. So yeah, what people don't realize what I do here, let you see this here a little bit better. And please excuse, any glares. We go ahead and highlight the, try to do this right here. Highlight the book here. Oh, let's see here. I guess the best way to do this is like that. Let's see here. I want to make sure I got room for all this. All right. I want you to see this really good here. I had to send this off to the mail. And, when I got my PlayStation, there was this little card in there that you had to send off for it. So that's that right here. And then let's take a look at the discs. And so I joined its little club. I can't remember, it's like once every 2 or every 3 months, but you got one of these here. I'm sorry. If you see any zooming in and out, I apologize. I'm just trying to show you that these are in really good condition. Like I said, for their age, they're in really good condition. I got them up,
I went ahead and played some demos, and it was really cool, man. I mean, that was back in the day. This is how we got our stuff. So what we can do here, like I did with the first, one, is we can go ahead and show you what this looks like right here. We can go ahead and we will pop the disc in.
So, like, I'm double checking each one of these to make sure, and there is some very, very light, like a little bit of scratches, but not anything not noticeable. You have to really angle it. Let's go ahead and pop this in here. I want to double check all of these, Okay, let it read. And you saw that little bar, from the other, disc. It's going to happen because of this, this adapter. Let's go ahead and dive in.
Communication enabled.
Enabled? You gotta be kidding. I've got nothing but snow here.
What's going on? I thought we had a lock.
I don't know. We're through the firewall, have full control of the tower, the logo was up and looking good, then nothing.
Hey, what's happening back there? We lost the whole transmission.
Hold on. I'm running a system diagnostic. Hard drives are fine. The network's still up. Modulation is within limits. Let me check this satellite. Got it. Tracking is off. I'm gonna realign.
Well, dial it in and let's get back online. We don't want underground members seeing this snow when they try to get the transmission.
You've got the wrong bird. Unless we're transmitting Spunko's commercials.
Hang on.
Hang on. We're hanging on dead air. Let's go.
Okay, I'm reestablishing the lock. Picture should be clearing up.
All right. When I first saw that, I was like, this is really cool. But you have to remember, this was like the, 90s. But I still think it looks cool. So the vault here, let's dive in here a little bit. I don't want to make a long video here, but I want to give it the respect it deserves. So this should be your games. Yeah. So you got Twisted Metal you can play, cool Boarders, Game Day, NFL Game Day 97, and Jet Moto. Now to get out here, you have to hit select on your controller. You do have import games, which is kind of cool. And this is for Dynasty Warriors. You get to play that one. Tech Q&A. This is where they talk about a lot of cool stuff here. Like, let's see how this goes. It's been a minute. Yeah. And then you hit Xbox to continue. X button to continue. So this is them telling you, send your shit, man. We'll answer your questions. Apparently they can't answer everyone's technical questions, but they said they will respond here. So that's kind of cool that exists. Let's go ahead and get out here. Okay. Let's see here. Debriefing. Hop in here. See where this takes us. It's been a minute, man, so I don't know what we're going to get. It's been a while. It's been a while. So we got some interview questions. That's kind of cool. Let's get out here. Behind the scenes. Now here's what I was telling you about the download station. So, I have my memory cards going here, and then if you want to download, they give you like a hookup. So this game right here, you'll walk through it here, and you could read about it. So hit X here. And there you go. And then hit select to get out of there. Then you can download it to your, your memory card. Let's get out of here. I already have it. Emit 1. This is going to become cool. Let me go back to it because I remember this one. This is my first experience to E3. Well, why not? Let's hop in here.
E3 is America's largest trade show dedicated to the video game industry. You might have read about it in gaming magazines and maybe even seen a few pictures. But now, through the use of time-lapse photography, the Underground takes you for a quick look inside E3 and the making of Sony's outrageous booth from the ground up.
Yeah, man. So that was my introduction to E3. Let's see, bulletins. Like I said, it's been a minute, guys. You have to bear with me. I just want to do this justice and see what we got here. So, yeah, you can hop into here, all this cool stuff here. Like I said, I don't want to make it a long video, so let's go ahead and get out of here. On the next one, well, let's go ahead and dive in here and see what we get, you know?
So, you want interviews with developers, demos of the hottest new games, codes, tips, and tricks you can't get anywhere else? Cool black market underground gear.
Nod your head yes.
To get all that 4 times a year, you gotta subscribe to the Underground magazine. And to subscribe, you gotta have a plan.
Here's the plan.
Get up off the couch. Step over the coffee table. No, don't look away. Walk through the dirty laundry. It is critical that you make no eye contact here with anyone, or they will try to make you pick things up.
Don't even think about picking up.
Move towards the front door. You know, where you keep the mail. Finally, you're at the door. Think back to when you picked up the mail. You saw the Underground CD, so you threw the rest of the mail aside.
Concentrate.
You ripped open the expensive, well-planned mailer, trashed it, opened the jewel case, ignoring all design hours spent creating it, and just tossed it, only to grab out the CD. The CD case. The subscription card inside the front cover.
Where did you throw it?
On the floor? In the trash? Crushed in the doorway? Find it, and the cool stuff, the games, the codes,
The power.
can all be yours. Find the subscription card. Fill it out. Don't screw up. This is a great plan. In fact, subscribe and you are automatically eligible to win some pretty cool stuff.
Anyone can enter. A subscription is not required. See the booklet in your CD case for details.
Yeah, man, so those subscription cards are all included with all of these discs. Here's your code book. Let's check this out. I get excited all over again, man. New code, hot new codes. Let's hop in here and hit continue. Code archive. Okay, so it talks about, and this is what the codes you get here. Put all these here, that way you can see what you get. Now this thing was jam-packed with a lot of cool stuff. There's a lot to unpack with these discs. And I'm really happy that I did subscribe because I got tons of information. This is how we used to get our shit back in the day, you know? That we could pause it and check out all the codes. I think that was it, right? Okay, let's go ahead and get out of here. You hit the select button to go back. And then go back. Okay. And we're back here at the vault. So let's go ahead and dive into the second disc. Yeah. I forgot how this is going to work out, so you have to bear with me. So let's hop in here. And these are demos, I believe. Let's see here. I think they are the demos. Yeah. Okay. That was the game right here with the code on the other disc. Let's go ahead and go to previous. Let's check out the coming soon here. Can't hurt to check this out, right? Yeah, so you can, these are more demos. Hit select to go back. So you got Oddworld, Abe's Ob. This is a lot of these games. This is how I experienced them for the very first time. See this here. Pretty cool. Let's go ahead and previous. So this is basically what you can get for disc 2. Let's go ahead and go to the next one.
Here's the next one. You know, I'm slacking. I need to do this first. I want you to see exactly what you're getting. How I store these, if you're wondering, is I put it in a little box. And so these were not like left out. When I got them, I put them in this little box, and then I would refer to them. Just because this is made out of cardboard, and I try to take care of my stuff. And so let's actually just do this first here. I was going to try to, they're see right here? They're like, kind of like glued on here. So just to let you know, that's how they did it. So let's go ahead and thumb through this. So they have these little advertisements here, and they talk about, you know, the games and stuff. So some have a little bit more to it than others. Now here's the discs here. I probably should do it like this here to help out. Once again, if there's any glare and stuff, please forgive me. And there, here, let me show you this right here and put this back in here. See, it's the little teeth right here. You know, they're broken off here a little bit. So when you open this up, be careful. This is all here still. So this one's got like a little broken teeth here. But once again, I was going through these before I started making the video. I was like going, you know, I could have sworn some of these had, you know, some minor scratches on there. I couldn't see any. Then I started looking at my other section of the collection. It's called the PlayStation US official magazine, and those are the ones that had, you know, had some scratches on there because they were in those. As you saw, the cases, those jewel cases, and they were they're not the best of shape. They're just extra ones I had to put them in. So yeah, let's go ahead and did I show you the back already? I think I did. It's been one of those days, man. Let's go ahead and pop these discs in.
So as I'm looking at these discs before popping them in, I just want to make sure I don't see any scratches. There is like super, like, I think 1 or 2 light scratches I can barely see this. So that's for disc 1. Looking at disc 2. Yeah, I don't see anything on disc 2. And like I said, the video you saw earlier, I just want to double check these. Let's go ahead and pop this in here. And I'm sorry about the squeaking of the chair, man. All right, let's go ahead and read the disc and let's dive in here.
Kick, a punch, a pose!
Stupid penguins!
Rats! Another goal. Hi everyone, Mike Nelson here from the Sci-Fi Channel's Mystery Science Theater 3000, along with Crow-T Robot.
Can't talk, must play.
And Tom Servo.
Block, kick, punch!
The good folks at PlayStation Underground asked us to take a look at some of their work from the past year.
Yeah, meaning they bought us off with a bunch of PlayStations.
And a mess of neat games.
And we're going to head to the theater in a minute, but first I just want to get one more goal at NHL Face-Off 98.
Meaning you fairly stink at it.
Hey.
Well, my arms don't work, and I'm doing better than you. Jump, kick, turn!
Yeah, Mike, why don't you go back to playing Pong?
Yeah, face it, Bob, you'll never master the subtle power of Parappa the Rapper.
Or the lightning-fast reflexes of Crash Bandicoot.
Oh, really, Crow? Is that why Crash keeps getting pummeled by penguins, huh?
Well, it's slippery in there. Hey, come on, Bandicoot, you big thing.
And, Tom, I noticed your onion head guy is falling down a lot and, well, farting.
Yeah, I want him to do that, okay?
Well, don't get cocky. It's going to get rocky. We're going to head into the theater now. It's
Underground
time!
Oh, this must be the Michael Collins video game.
The story of the University of PlayStation.
I majored in sitting on my can and not getting a damn thing done.
Oh, it's Minnesota.
Communication enabled.
Enabled? You gotta be kidding. I've got nothing but snow here.
What's going on? I thought we had a lock.
I don't know. We're through the firewall, have full control of the tower, the logo was up and looking good, then nothing.
Hey, what's happening back there? We lost the whole transmission.
Hold on. I'm running a system diagnostic.
You know, if your
Hard
animation
drives
is getting
are
its
fine.
butt kicked by Clutch
The
Cargo,
network's
you're in trouble.
Still up? Modulation is within limits. Let me check this satellite.
Gumby and Pokey, what do you got for me?
Got it. Tracking is off. I'm gonna realign.
Well, dial it in and let's get back online. We don't want underground members seeing this snow when they try to get the transmission.
Dirk Digital.
You've got the wrong bird, unless we're transmitting Spunko's commercials.
Hang on.
Hang on. We're hanging on dead air. Let's go.
Okay, I'm reestablishing the lock. Picture should be clearing up.
Good, because if you show a Spunko commercial, I'm running for the exit.
And now, Scream 14.
Ready and action.
From Sony's space... From... Wrong, Sir John Giel bad.
I thought that.
From Sony's PlayStation comes the greatest hits. All your favorite...
See why we like fake people better?
From Sony's... The lady's dead, right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. From Sony's PlayStation comes the greatest hits. All your old favorites.
Like the soft sounds of...
Which one of these two is Al Lewis? You decide.
The gentle crack of Sophia's whip.
Even the hilarious antics of Sweet Tooth, that marvelous clown.
And all for just 20...
This is the worst Mentos ad I've ever seen.
From Sony's PlayStation comes the greatest hits.
Like the soft sounds of swarming missiles.
Save money by hiring mummies. From Sony's PlayStation comes...
This must be a Scared Young video.
From Sony's...
Sorry, I'm a little tired. I really hit the mall walking this morning.
That's right. The PlayStation's a mere $149. You can also get lead...
Watch their love explode across the screen.
You can also get leading titles.
Like Crash Bandicoot and Jet Moto.
It's Moto. Jet Moto is your laxative.
Moto.
That's right. The PlayStation is a mere $149.
I lied. I'm not Hume Cronin.
Still roll, sorry, yes.
That's right. The PlayStation's a mere $149. You can also get leading...
You're not going to let robots make fun of this later, are you?
But wait.
Pull my finger.
Look, she's dreaming of Ed McMahon.
Oh.
PlayStation is a mere $149. And you can also get...
Oh, now I'll never get my show with Sinbad.
The PlayStation is a mere $149. And you can also get
These two were a hit at the James Buchanan inauguration.
That's right. The PlayStation is a mere $149. You can get other leading...
She isn't giving me anything. I'm sorry.
That's right. The PlayStation is a mere $149. You can get leading...
Yeah, someone spiked his Sustical with rum, I think.
The PlayStation is a mere $149, and you can also get leading titles.
Like Crash.
Fudge. I must remember to make
You
fudge.
can also get leading titles.
Like Brash Bandicoot.
Like Snake Flaky Butt and Mush Peterbilt.
It's a party!
Yeah.
Get at it.
Later, goons from PlayStation took them for a long ride.
All right, we got you surrounded, Pie. Drop your filling and come out with your crust in the air.
Whoa, that's got to be the top of the Genie garage door opener line right there.
I think it's Bill Gates' basement.
You're probably wondering why I brought you here, sir.
Everyone knows we've got one of those, Jenkins.
No, not that, sir. Over here.
Davidson's playing free cell again, sir.
Hey, stay off the floor. We just waxed it.
Would you just pick up the jar, Jenkins?
We found them playing it inside the ship.
Good God!
It's a Marilyn Manson Christmas album.
Well, were you able to retrieve any information from it?
That's what I need to show you, sir.
And now, Gallagher, the movie.
Wow, Crash Bandicoot's doing all right for himself.
His belly was texture mapped and ray traced like a bowl full of jelly.
Oh, a right jolly old elf's life ended today in a modest Sherman Oaks home.
Santa can't feel his legs.
Oh, gross. Santa sneezed.
Why, Barton Fink left a present.
For me?
It's for Santana. They spelt it wrong.
Someone got me a black hole. Ah!
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, P, Q, R, S, T, V, W, X, Y, Z, sold separately.
Bing.
Man, I was laughed my ass off. I'm glad I viewed my end. So for those who are fans, just like myself, of Mystery Science Theater 3000, yes, that was the intro. And to me, it's still hilarious today as it was when I first saw it. All right, so we got the briefing, behind the scenes, the download station. Let's see what we got here. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm not trying to make a super long video because there's a lot to unpack with all these. So you get to download this Ghost in the Shell game here. Let's go ahead and hit select to get out. Research and development.
A lot of you have been telling us you want to know how games are built. In the next 4 issues, we'll show you, in a way that no other gaming magazine could. Get ready for a PlayStation Underground exclusive. It's a new feature called Software Development. We'll walk you step by step through the inside secrets of making a PlayStation game. You won't be just watching. This new feature is a short, hands-on tutorial. As we build components, you manipulate them using your controller. And we invite you to give us suggestions and feedback that could help shape the game. In Part 1, learn about game design and working with a 3D model. The issue after that, we'll show you how an animated world is constructed. Part 3 lets you put a character in motion, working with collision detection and game physics. And in Part 4, you'll add artificial intelligence, special effects, and sound. By the end, we'll have developed a game you can play, and if we liked your suggestions, your name just might make it into the credits. This could open the doors to the world of game development. Just be here over the next 4 issues. It's inside training, and only PlayStation Underground CD Magazine subscribers will be getting it.
I thought that was really badass. All right. Tech Q&A and the codes. Let's check out the codes. That way you know what you're getting. And I don't remember where all the codes were. I think I just circled around, didn't I? Yeah. Yeah. Like I said earlier, it's been a while. Alright, bulletins. Let's see what this is. This is going to be a long video, probably. Shit. Alright. I like the idea that they take you behind the scenes, and, you know, it was really cool, man. Alright, let's get out of here. Imports. Let's see what we got here. Breath of Fire. Alright, cool. And that was one thing I was really surprised to see. Let's see here, I want to play videos. Q&A, codes, bulletins, imports, briefing. Okay, let's go ahead and pop in the next disc. Okay, I knew the demos were around here somewhere. Let's see what we get here. Man, that game's bad. I enjoyed it. And after playing these demos, I had to save up to buy the game. One's a trip, man. And that's an expensive game these days. So you got videos here too. Yeah, that says demo, that says video. Let's see what this game's about. I can't remember. Yeah, so coming off the heels of, you know, the Twisted Metal series. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next one.
Here's the next one. I'm going to be a pro at this by the end of the video. Like I mentioned before, the other video I did, I felt like I went through too fast. And, you know, I appreciate you guys watching the video, man. And here's the back end here. When I started getting these, the first one, as you saw, had my labels on there to get mailed to me, and that's how I got it sent. Let's go ahead and show you this here. And as you can see, these are in really, really good condition. I try to take care of my stuff, man, because I work really hard for my stuff. Now, as I mentioned in my past videos, this opens up here. And I kept I didn't tear anything out of these, so I didn't mail anything off. The way I got this, as I mentioned earlier, is that you got your PlayStation and it had this little card in there saying you want to join the PlayStation Underground. And then I sent off that little postcard. There you go. Let's go ahead and show you this here. And so once every, like I said, I could have sworn it was 2, maybe 3 months, you would get these discs. And the ones after the first one, here's this right here. After the first one, it came in like this little, like, if I remember correctly, it had maybe a little box, or I can't remember fully what it looked like. This is from like 97, man. So, you know, I just remember them not having labels on them anymore, and I was thankful because I'm a collector, you know. And of course, you know, there's some stuff underneath here. You know, let me show you underneath here what it looked like. Pretty cool, huh? So yeah, these, once again, no scratches on it. So let's go ahead and pop this in.
Alright, so looking at the disc here, disc 1, I wanted to hunt for these scratches, man. I could barely see them, but there's a few. They have some smudges, so like I said, you could use a little cleaning. Disc 2, very light scratches as well, but not really hard to see. Let's go ahead and pop this in here. Let it read. I just want to make sure I'm straight up with you guys. Let's go ahead and dive in.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to present the new Evolution of Man exhibit in our technology wing.
Yeah, man. Who knew that there would be an actual video game museum? And by the way, that's on the channel. Check the playlist. So let's go ahead and see what we get here. We got debriefing, behind the scenes, event center. Here's your download station. Let's see what we get. I always like to check these. And yes, I've downloaded all these just in case I will come across the game again here. It's like 3 of them? Okay. I guess there's 3 different downloads for that game. Alright. Alright, that's what we got. And you go download it. Hit, once again, select to get to the back to the next, you know, the screen previously before. Research and development. See what we got for the codes. Might as well, you guys, write down the codes. That way, if you have these games, there you go. You're hooked up, man. Wow, there's like a lot here. And like I mentioned prior, you know, there's a lot to unpack with these. So hopefully this helps out somebody out there. I forgot about that code. I have that game. I'm kind of sad to see this collection go, but I'm kind of happy it's going to go to another person who's going to appreciate it as much as I do. But this is like a little step back in history for the PlayStation, if you ask me. Oh, there's a lot of codes, man. I mean, a lot. I'm surprised I forgot, man. It's been like a long time since I popped these in. And we're back here. Okay. Let's go back here. Bulletins. See what this is about. I want to dive in and show you a little bit of it, but like I said, I'm trying not to make a super long video, but man, you know? Okay. Pretty much about the swag and stuff. Alright, let's get out here. Imports, yeah. Let's check this shit out. Now, I was really happy with the graphics the way it looked. And guys, you have to remember, before the PlayStation, we had Nintendo. And before that, let's see. Alright, let's go back. Before Nintendo, we had, well, I had ColecoVision and Atari, man. There's a debriefing. Let's hop in here and see what's in here.
Hi, I'm Chris Sorrell. I'm producer of Medieval. I've also been involved in the design from the start and quite a bit of the programming as well. The game is an action-adventure. It was inspired by the classic arcade game Ghouls and Ghosts.
My name's Jason Wilson and I'm the lead artist and co-designer along with Chris Sorrell on Medieval.
Throughout the game you're playing a skeletal knight called Sedan Fortescue. He has been risen from the dead by the sorcerer named Zarok, and throughout the game you're pursuing the sorcerer to try and stop him from completely taking over this weird medieval landscape called Gallowmere. The look of the game is quite unique. You know, a lot of games are based around map editor constructed landscapes, kind of fairly rigid, block-like look to it. This is something that we don't have in Medieval. We have curves and skewed geometry all over the place, and buildings at funny angles. The game also has quite a strong sort of RPG theme, the requirement for you to use particular weapons to learn particular strategies, achieving 20 different levels and tackling probably around 50 different characters along the way. And when he was alive, he was the champion of the king of the land and died valiantly in battle. He's quite a goofy looking character, I suppose. The aim with him was to give him a kind of goofy, quirky sort of a look, but at the same time for him to also appear to be the valiant and brave character that he actually is.
A lot of people said to us, why do we want to have a skeleton as the main hero instead of some sort of huge muscle guy with a big gun or Lara Croft or whatever. So, but we thought it'd be kind of like silly and different, and we both like the film Nightmare Before Christmas and other sort of silly sort of horror type stuff. So we set out to do a skeleton and lots of silly things a skeleton would fight.
He's got quite a lot of attack moves, and in these I think he looks quite powerful in that, but at the same time he's got huge floppy feet which make him look a bit sort of clumsy as he runs around. That we're not trying to do a character that's Conan the Barbarian or something. He is a bit alternative. He's a sort of an accidental hero, really.
But I think it's more for people who are grown up and still think they're kids.
I love that game. I did a video of the remake and it was really good. Alright, behind the scenes. Let's go ahead and hop into Event Center. Those are usually fun.
We found out there's something different at nightclubs in London. It was so cool, we're taking you for a look. London's top clubs have more than great music. They have PlayStation. Together, they make for a great night out.
This is the Killers Club where you can come, you can play PlayStation and have a good time, listen to some good music as well.
Everybody knows that it's just a bit of fun at the end of the day.
The girls love the PlayStation, man, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think once you actually get the females on them, you know, it's harder to get them to go on there, but once they're on there, then, yeah, you can't get them off.
When the conversation gets dry, you can retire to play a PlayStation.
We went across town to check out another club called the Ministry of Sound. It's new, it's hot, and it has a whole room devoted to PlayStation. Video games fit right in with the club's smoke and light show. Club owners told us that PlayStation helps bring in new people.
Then we have better facilities to offer than other clubs. You know, it just gives them more value for money, being able to play on the PlayStations and see new games that aren't out in the shops and stuff like that, really.
Playing your favorite games in a nightclub is a perfect fit, unless someone's trying to ask you a lot of questions.
I've just lost my game! Oh, sorry.
Those are really cool. I mean, I enjoy them, man. We did this here. Like I said, I don't want to make a long ass video, but let's go ahead and pop in the next disc here. Disc 2 of this.
Lower your weapon or be destroyed.
All right. Let's see what we got here. I love that game. Playing this demo, I had to save up for it. And this one, Jersey Devil, man, I never owned it, but I enjoyed playing the demo so much I kept on playing it. That's a fun game. Now, when I saw this demo here and played it, I had to buy it. And this is one of the games that you could put in there and let it load up, and then you remove it, put any CD, any music CD in there, and then it'll start picking up the game. Because you load the game up, but then you pause it, and then you put the CD in, and then you unpause it, and it plays the music of the CD you put in there. Very unique game. It's a shooter. And Blasto, this is another game I played a demo and had to own. This is one where I was talking about Phil Hartman being in the game. It's really cool. And Tekken 3. I love my fighting games, and man, I had to check it out. So let's check out Metal Solid Gear. Yeah, being I love James Bond, I had to check that game out. And guys, once again, for those who are not born in this era, these were badass fucking graphics. So, All right, so let's go ahead and go to the next one.
Here's the next one. I'm slack. See, I thought I was going to be all cool and get it down right, man. Yeah, every once in a while, when they came in, I would like to say once every 2 months, maybe 3. I can't remember, man. It's been a long time. And here's what I did here, and this is probably a rookie mistake for old Jeff here for collectors in the future. I put the passcodes to do so you could know what to do when you hop in here. So let's go ahead and I mentioned my other video, Blasto. I love Saturday Night Live, and when I found out that I can't remember his name now. He's from News Radio, and he was also Saturday Night Live. Phil Hartman. Good Lord, man. Here's all. See, they're showing you advertisements right here on the bottom here. Let me show you this a little bit closer. There's like a phone number you can call. So, back in the days, they had your sizes and stuff, and that's how you ordered them, man. And of course, there's, you could call that number, and it was kind of cool because back then it was a different time, man. Let's go ahead and open this. So, Phil Hartman did Blasto, and I played the demo for Blasto, and I loved it. So let's go ahead and show you this here. And when I got them, because PlayStation, you pop this in there and it kind of locked in, And I was thinking in time, there would be little scratches when it moves, but there wasn't any. So, and I was thinking maybe the scratches are caused by me. Because those other discs, I was a little more laxy-daisy with them because I would get the magazine in, and then I'll take it, with me to work, and then somehow the magazine, and this is the back end of these, the magazine would, I'll take it to work and people pass it around. Like I had other gamers at work too. So that's how I lost the magazines, but I kept the discs. And of course, when people came over, I would share the discs with them, and Here, bring it back though, and that's how some of those got scratched. But so far, so good, man. These are all in very good condition. No scratches. I can't see them. So you saw the video, man. Let's go ahead and go to the video and check these discs out.
So looking at these discs, once again, there's some light scratches. You just really can't tell until you angle them a certain way, but not enough to see them like we did the video and stuff. I had to really angle and look for them, but they're there. Once again, a little cleaning would probably be nice. There's some smudges on here, but we'll go ahead and pop this in here. Once again, I'm sorry about the squeaking of the chair. All right, let's hop in here. Read the disc, and let's dive in.
You're probably wondering why I brought you here, sir.
Everyone knows we've got one of those, Jenkins.
No, not that, sir. Over here. We found them playing it inside the ship.
Good God! Well, were you able to retrieve any information from it?
That's what I need to show you, sir.
I always like these intros. All right. Let's hop in here, see what we got. Demos. Yeah, like I mentioned before, a lot of these demos, when I play games, like this game is a trip, it got me to find some games. So it did its job. So that's a few here. Let's see here. Video of NFL Game Day. I'm not trying to once again make a long ass video, but you know, we're checking this shit out, man. Got the briefing here. Let's see here. Behind the scenes. Events. I always like to visit the event center, so let's go ahead and we'll get to that in a second. Let's look at the downloads. It's all about the downloads. And you know, when I, first got this, man, I was like, this is pretty killer. You could download stuff to your memory card. Once again, select brings you back out. Research and development. Tech Q&A. And the codes. We already did this, right? It's like I said, it's been a minute, man. All right. We're going, hey guys, you could go ahead and write it down, pause it, do what you need to do. For one lucky person who's going to get this collection, man, I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And like I said, I'm trying to be upfront with everything here. When I was showing the video of the condition of these games, man, I mean, they're in really good condition for their age, but I was like going, I could have sworn I saw some, scratches, like very light surface scratches. And as I was looking at earlier, as you see each one of these, I was like, I don't see it. But then, when I'm getting ready to play it, I'm in a different lighting, I wanted to make sure I amplified my lighting so I could see if there's any scratches. And there's some light scratches, so keep that in mind. All these are not brand spanking new. That'd be a freaking miracle. I don't think anybody who got these collections, if you have a full collection, you know, didn't play them, you know. And the way the games sit in that PlayStation 1 and 2, you know, it snaps in there and it spins. So, you know, you have to keep that in mind. But yeah, man, all these cool little... There's your Twisted Metal codes. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed this collection, and I'm, you know, hoping this will go to someone, you know, who's like-minded like me, who would appreciate this. And that's the end of this. Okay, let's get out of here. Bulletins. Let's see here. Oh, so all these bulletins are just talking about swags and stuff. Okay. I keep on forgetting, man. All right, let's get out of here. I always like to highlight some of the stuff. So we did the vault. Let's see here, the briefing. Let's see what we got here.
Like your typical sound engineer, started out in bands in high school and recording, basically, and was more interested in what was going on the other side of the glass, so to speak. So I went to Berklee College of Music and studied audio engineering, and then headed out to Hollywood and basically paid my dues in recording studios, getting coffee and running errands. I started out doing some consulting for some video game companies. And then the opportunity here at Sony presented itself to build a recording studio, to build this facility, to do what I needed to do. A big part of my job here is sound evangelist, to go around to the producers and be involved from the beginning of the project. They're realizing how important a piece of the puzzle sound is, and talk to them about, you know, what are their goals for this project? What would they like it to sound like? We go over a style guide, you know, what movie soundtracks, what albums do they really like, and I take that information back and look it over and go through it and then get as close as I possibly can. Now I've got a few people that help me out. There's not enough hours in the day. I've got a guy named Nate Brenholt, who is an amazing sound designer. He can do amazing things with an oscillator. He can usually be found in his office doing a typical laser blast, gunshots, footsteps, explosions, except his are always a little bit huger, a little bit bigger than everyone else's. Chuck Dowd is on staff, and he is primarily a composer. He's doing the score for a game we're doing right now called Blasto. His bag, if you will, is what a lot of the producers in-house want on their games. We have a interactive audio engine here. We call it an adaptive MIDI engine. Chuck is composing the music for Blasto in such a way that it requires him to actually program the musical score to interact with gameplay. So as you approach specific sections of a map, are attacked by some number of enemies, the musical score will actually adapt to that situation, get more exciting, get more intense, get darker. You know, if you're just roaming around exploring, it'll get much more moody and just ethereal. And to the point where if you roam around long enough, the music will actually stop for a while, which is actually even more dramatic, because then when you come around a corner and there's an enemy, you'll get this explosive music will enter back in. Just knock you right off your seat, so it works really well. Yeah, that requires Chuck to actually program the musical score. He has to really think about not only the typical issues you have to think about when you're composing musical motifs, but he has to think about each gameplay situation that may arise. It's amazing how it affects gameplay, how it really just punctuates the emotion. The goal is really to just have the person play the game and go, wow, that was an amazing experience. They might not even be able to put their finger on why it was so much better than the last game they had in their PlayStation. It's just going to be one of those subliminal elements that just, heightens the experience. And it just shows the potential that the PlayStation has for sound generation. I think when people get this game, they're going to hear the thing perform like they haven't heard it perform before.
I'd help you out, but I don't have a spatula with me.
And that's why I got Blasto. All right, let's go to the event center.
What would you do if you could go to a place where gaming was appreciated for the awe-inspiring experience it is? Where up-and-coming games were yours for the trying? Where you could feel the electricity in the air? If you're anything like Brad Lynch and Christopher Gordon, you'd know exactly what to do. Play till your thumbs bleed. Brad and Christopher are two PlayStation Underground members who happen to live near Atlanta, the site for this year's E3, the world's largest gaming show. E3, also known as the Electronic Entertainment Expo, annually brings together top interactive companies. In fact, over 400 exhibitors from around the world participated in E3 this year. Excitement was contagious there, and at the center of it all was the PlayStation. Our display was the size of a football field and allowed 220 people to experience upcoming PlayStation games at the same time. We weren't just content to be one of the largest exhibits there, we had to be the best. So we did whatever it took, even putting showcases off the ground to pack more into our space. Of course, the PlayStation Underground made an appearance too. With such a great setup, we had to share it. So we decided to invite Brad and Christopher along for some fun and gaming. Naturally, however, they weren't the only ones at the show who were playing. All in all, the two found the show not a difficult experience to take. Thanks for playing, guys.
You know, watching the E3 videos, when I got these, I really wanted to go to one. I never did. All right, let's hop over here.
Ever wonder what video gaming is like in Japan? The PlayStation Underground flew over to Tokyo to attend Japan's premier video game show and to check out the gaming atmosphere in the land of the rising sun. Unlike at E3, America's video game expo, the Japanese public is allowed in for one day to get a first look at all the upcoming games. As the excitement built up, so did the crowd, which wrapped all the way around the convention center to the other side of the nearby freeway. Quite a turnout. When the doors open, the rush for the games is on. The Tokyo Game Show is like E3, but only about half its size. However, nearly all of the major video game manufacturers are represented. As we made our way through the show, we could tell which games were the potential hits by the lines forming in front of the kiosks. And of course, the game companies go out of their way to capture a visitor's attention. After the show, we decided to do a little game shopping and check out gamers in their natural habitat. In Tokyo, there is no better place to do that than in the Akihabara district, a 1 square mile shopping area that is to consumer electronics in Japan what Rodeo Drive is to fashion in Beverly Hills. You can get a game fix right on the street. Our conclusion, here at the center of the PlayStation universe, almost everyone is a player. And in Japan, like everywhere else, the #1 system in gamers' hearts and minds is PlayStation.
Pretty badass, right? Let's go back one. Yeah, we did that. Let's go ahead and hop into the next disc here. Disc 2. All right. We got games. We got videos. So this is under games. These are your demos. See, Fighting Force, man, I love that game. That's what got me addicted, Jersey does. I love that game. I need to buy it one day, but man, it's like expensive. Alright, videos, Tomb Raider, Fortune Apocalypse, Final Fantasy. Let's check out Final Fantasy.
The most significant difference to us was capacity. Before, we were given restrictions in capacity, so we had to create one basic model and fiddle around with it, making players believe there were variations. It was a good way to become resourceful in limited circumstances. But on the CD-ROM, that restriction was completely taken away, and we didn't have to worry about various ways of modifying one basic model. If we needed 100 models, we could create each of them from scratch. The basic concept you have when creating RPGs is to imitate the real world and create a fictional world within the game. We have followed that concept in previous versions of this series, but technically, we had to use one basic model in different ways, or use a world symbolized specifically for game use. Now it is much easier for us to achieve our original goal. We can now express more of the real world in the game. The number of simultaneous music output channels used to be 8 in the Super NES. Now it's 24. We leave 8 of them open for sound effects, so we have 16 to use for the actual music. That adds a lot of richness to the music. For example, when you hit the piano keys with both of your hands, you get 10 notes at once, and you won't be able to create that kind of a sound on Super NES. Suppose we create that piano-type sound with 10 notes, and you still have 6 notes left. This means you can fit in sounds of other instruments, and this certainly adds complexity to the game.
ですね、今回に関してもコンピュータグラフィックスの技術っていうのを2通りのパターンとしてゲーム中に
We were able to use 2 types of CG technology in this game. One is the movie technology, where you create motion pictures using CG software and store it on CD-ROM. The other is polygon-based technology, where you create 3D objects and make them move. It is amazing to see new images being generated one after another, and all being played smoothly on the game console. You realize how powerful current technology is.
ロムから CD-ROM になってだんだん今までは
Thanks to CD-ROM, cinematic expressions which were impossible in the past have become available. For example, we can now show close-ups on characters' faces, and using various camera angles, the game screen is no longer a stage-like space. However, movies can be seen in movie theaters. In order to make this thing attractive to game players, we tried hard to put playable elements in the scenarios. We made it so players will not have to follow our pace.
今まで、特にゲームとしての感触なんですけども
In previous games, there were big differences between ordinary scenes and special effects scenes, and they were arranged in a certain order. The players would accept that as an established style and take for granted characters going through monotonous map scenes and then special effects being used in highlight scenes. They understood it as the grammar of the games, especially RPGs. We tried to break that understanding. For example, even in map scenes, the characters won't just move horizontally, but special, sometimes thrilling effects are added. In highlight scenes, we didn't make it too elaborate so that it will excessively stand out from the other scenes. The players will enjoy the flow of the game from the beginning through the ending, without noticing any intervals or arranged orders.
やっぱりバトルのシーンは
In battle scenes, we use a lot of camera angles and effects, paying attention to space and 3D. Therefore, the battle scenes become the highlight scenes. The 3D effect is best shown when you use summon beasts. These have always been the most attractive scenes in games, but we had to struggle on how to show them effectively in 2D atmospheres. Now, using 3D technology, more broad effects have been accomplished. The music in the field scenes, which is where the character walks around, has a unique flavor that no other RPGs had in the past. We intentionally eliminated the up-tempo, inspiring, rousing type of feel, meant to encourage you to embark on a journey that usual RPGs have. Instead, some parts of the music will rise melodiously. Some parts will make you feel insecure, therefore creating various expressions within the same field of music. I assume players will get a different feel from it compared to previous RPGs. To tell the truth, I hope so, since this is my own experiment.
Far out, right? All right, let's go ahead and go to the next disc.
Here's the next one. I'm getting with the program. Yeah, like I mentioned, the other ones I wish there was. I took better care of them. Well, I did, but I wish I didn't loan them out, man. And so, some of those have. I was looking before I was making this video, and I checked all these discs, and I couldn't see any scratches. But, here's the way it opens up. But they were like, I'm skipping a page here. I was like, I could have sworn there were maybe some scratches on there, and I guess they're what I call like minor scratches, like because when you pop them into the PlayStation and locked in and it spins around. And once again, these are more of your swag, man, the PlayStation swag. And what I tried to do here is, like I said, I tried to keep everything as cool as I can. Now, here's this little thing you saw in my other video. I had written stuff down, not this top right here, but, some stuff here. I will just leave it with it because, it's there for a reason. I can't remember why, but this is what this looks like. I probably should have done this here. I'm so sorry, guys. Here you go. That we could pause it and check it out. And I was very cautious with my games. Like I said, these were expensive. This membership was not cheap. But look at this. I mean, it doesn't get better than that, guys. So I remember getting them, and I would put them in my little PlayStation and check them out and stuff. Some of these have ways you could download codes to it, like to get advanced into games, and that was pretty cool. I thought that was really nifty, and they had videos and stuff and behind the scenes and a lot of tech talk. So we'll power these the discs up that we can kind of get experience it what it's about. But yeah, we can go ahead and hop into this one here.
All right, so the first disc on my hunt for scratches. Well, hey man, I'm like, I want to be 100% by all this because I can't see them. Like, what you just saw, is like, I don't see them, but, I'm kind of angling them. The first disc, I see like very few. Now, there's a smudge on there, so once again, disc cleaning will be nice. Disc 2 of this, I don't see any scratches. I don't see. So, that's what I got. That's my honest opinion. I'm sorry. My eyes is my eyes, man. So, you know, like I said, there's some minor scratches on some of these. They're very good condition for their age. So let's go ahead and dive into this.
Hola, Maggie here, the PlayStation Underground's new computer-generated host. I'm supposed to introduce each issue, but as you may or may not know, 3D graphics like me are expensive, so I've been told not to waste any time.
Alright, Maggie, they probably already know that, so just tell them what's on this issue.
Chill out, Pushy. I was just introducing myself. Our producer, too many cappuccinos.
I heard that.
Yeah, well, lighten up. Okay, let's get down to it. First up, we got a chance to sit down with some of Sony's heavy hitters, including Ken Kutaragi, Kaz Hirai, and Phil Harrison, to get the exclusive 411 on the product everyone is saving their arcade quarters for, the next generation of PlayStation. Then, I got to rack up the frequent flyer miles and expand my anime collection as we headed over to the land of the rising sun. We got to check out this year's hot new titles at the Tokyo Game Show and spend some quality time with the creators of Star Ocean and Jammer Lammy. That Lammy plays a mean guitar with her riffs and my moves. Talk about your girl power. We also got to spend some time down in sunny Southern California at the video game industry's largest trade show, E3. Check out our evaluators' picks of the show. Well, that's a tiny portion of what we've got crammed into this issue. When you're done trying out the import title, downloading stuff for your memory card, and checking out every nook and cranny of CD1, grab your controller and head over to the vault. The new demos include Final Fantasy VIII, MLB 2000, and Ape Escape, just to name a few. Alright, how was that?
Not bad, can you speed it up?
Sure, how's this? First, I got to rack up the frequent flyer miles and expand my anime collection as we head over to the land of the rising sun. We got to check out this year's...
Hey Buzz, you didn't throw out those CG host resumes, did you?
Star Ocean and Jammer Lammy.
Okay. So, once again, I apologize. This video is getting a little longer than expected. So, what imports we got? It probably said, I forgot about the marquee. Yeah, it said it in the marquee, didn't it? Yeah. All right. Let's see, I don't want this to be long, but I want to check out some of the shit. Okay, let's see here, behind the scenes. Yeah, let's hop into E3. I always like checking this shit out.
Imagine getting paid to check out all the new games that want to be on the PlayStation platform. That's what the game evaluators do. Hey, it's a tough job, but somebody's got to do it. At E3, the biggest game trade show of the year, we got two evaluators, Chris Colon and Mark Vitello, to pick what they thought were some of the coolest new titles. Here are just a few of them.
If you're a big fan of Japanese anime or giant combat, Omega Boost is the game for you. Omega Boost is a really cool game that was created by the developers of Gran Turismo. Incredible graphics, the gameplay speed is unbelievable. We got 19 diverse stages, true 3D, free-roaming environment, so players can attack and be attacked from all directions. You have ground-based missions, you also have missions that take place in space. You have missions where you're actually inside spaceships shooting at enemies. So the gameplay will never repeat itself. It is truly amazing. Burning around town, cops on your butt, that's Driver.
The idea behind Driver really was to create a game which is a simulation, or the closest possible simulation to Hollywood car chases and TV shows. Things such as The Dukes of Hazzard, Smokey and the Bandit. One of the things that we really try to make different about this game is that most driving games or racing games taking place on a normal looping track. With Driver, you can actually drive anywhere. There's around 30 miles of road in each city, four-wheel independent suspension. So you can see as you go flying over the hills of San Francisco, all the cars are also leaping off the road. This is the chase that I've just had. Now, it's stored the entire chase, so I can play that chase back like this. I can stop the camera at any time, stop the motion, and then I can insert a camera, and I can choose between various cameras.
This year's survival horror has a new name, Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis is looking awesome due to the 3D polygonal background, the amazing CG intro, and all of the other gameplay elements that made Resident Evil series so popular. Some of the things that make the game suspenseful are the way the dinosaurs act like they're hunting you as their prey. They like to play with you, they like to run after your character, they'll stop and stare at you and come at you. At all costs, they're trying to get you. Resident Evil is like a haunted house. Dino Crisis was like a roller coaster. Much more in your face, jumping out of windows, smashing through doors.
One of the best dogfighting games around on the PlayStation is without a doubt Ace Combat 3.
One of the coolest new features in Ace Combat 3 is the ability to look around your plane from first-person point of view to third-person point of view. This allows you to actually track your enemies much easier, and it's all done in real time, so gameplay is not affected when you do it. So one of the cool things that we're seeing right now is the ability to look backwards. It's one thing that's been added to the game that you couldn't do before. The story is always changing. In the beginning, you can become a peacekeeping officer. The next minute, you're a renegade, and this is all done in real time.
Marvel's outlaw heroes come to 3D life in Activision's X-Men.
What we have here is X-Men. It's probably the greatest comic book franchise in the history of comic books, and it's a syndicated television running 5 years. We have 14 characters pulled from all of the X-Men history, as well as Age of Apocalypse alternatives, with extra moves, extra abilities, making for really great gameplay. Real-time motion blur, a dynamic fighting camera system, which will allow the camera to move around the arena in ways that enhance the 3D feel of the fight.
Big wheelies, big air. That's Championship Motocross featuring Ricky Carmichael.
The greatest thing about Championship Motocross featuring Ricky Carmichael is its physics engine. The challenge with motocross is creating sensation that's not just like racing a skinny car, but rather racing a two-wheeled motorcycle that is very difficult to control, especially on loose dirt or other grassy, wet surfaces like that. There's a lot of big air. So you can see that you can just get huge air and rip really sick tricks. There are over 12 unique tracks in the game, and it's real tight. There's a lot of collisions, and you really got to stay out in front of the pack.
Crash is back in the race of his life with Crash Team Racing.
Naughty Dog is very excited for the first time in many years to be bringing a totally new engine to the PlayStation for Crash Team Racing, 4th Crash Bandicoot series. It's totally new, 1-player, 2-player, 3-player, 4-player racing game. You go through over 20 levels, and now for the first time you get to play as Crash, Coco, Cortex, Engine, Tiny Tiger, all of the good guys, all of the bad guys. There are over 13 characters to play as. It's head-to-head combat like you've never seen before on the PlayStation.
These are just 7 of the many cool games at E3. For more first looks, watch upcoming issues of the PlayStation Underground.
I always love those, you know, behind the scenes E3 kind of thing. Like our downloads. And as I got these over time, I was like, man, you get downloads for every time you get this? So yeah, man. Alright, let's go back here. I have to hit continue. And I'm back. Okay. That was the only download there was. That's that thing they're talking about before. Insider. You know, let's check this out right here. Because I just, you know, I was like going, I want to show you all of them, but, you know, time. Let's dive in.
The next PlayStation is coming. As a PlayStation Underground subscriber, you get a front row seat.
Our dream from a business point of view is to grow the market for computer entertainment into a superset of music and movies, so that video gaming and computer entertainment becomes a legitimate mass market entertainment.
We formed the new team for the next generation of PlayStation immediately after launching PlayStation. So we started to think about the next architecture for the system in 1995.
The design of the next generation PlayStation was
put together to achieve a very singular goal, which was to allow the game player to experience TV quality images and the same level of emotional experience that you would get from watching a great film, reading a great book, or listening to a great piece of music.
How do you do that? I think the key word for the next generation PlayStation is emotion. How do you convey emotion of the game characters?
Realistic facial animation. As you're looking at me now on this camera, you can see that my face moves whilst I talk, and as my mouth moves, that the muscles stretch. And that's what realism is all about, is being able to get the subtlety of movement into the 3D graphics. The new system is going to open up a whole new avenue of creative expression. Today, great games like Gran Turismo and Tekken and Game Day are at the pinnacle of their genre on the current platform. But they use relatively simple technology to create that experience. In the next generation of a driving game, for example, on the new PlayStation, we will be able to simulate thousands of different elements of what makes a car work. The tire physics, the friction, the fact that it's now snowing, the fact that it's now raining, and that these are having a physically accurate impact on the way that the game handles. This allows for a wide variety of gaming experiences to be generated. In the current world of game development, you would use motion capture to establish the animation of a character. But going forward, we can now start to physically and biologically simulate how a human being works. And we can use some very complex algorithms called inverse kinematics and dynamics to simulate the entire physical skeleton of a player. Each player uses 10,000 polygons. To put this in context, Game Day and Madden use about 250 polygons per player. But it's also important to remember that beautiful graphical experiences aren't necessarily generated by millions of polygons, but by the best special effects and the most subtle use of lighting, pixels and texture mapping. It's not all about winning a huge polygonal race, but this is a race of beauty. This demo that we're showing right now shows some real powerful lighting and animation techniques called motion blur. Now this allows us to track the speed at which an object moves, and just like in real life, if I move quickly, there is a persistent blur behind the object. Each one of these firecracker particles is being rendered many times onto the screen. In fact, this demo is being drawn at 60 frames a second, but it's actually being rendered at 600 frames a second. And we can also freeze it like this, just like you see in some TV commercials right now, where you can spin the camera around and the object is frozen. Once again, there are tremendous creative possibilities with this. If somebody throws a ball in a baseball game, or a fast-moving car overtakes you, or a laser beam from a weapon. These demos give you just some of the hints of the building blocks of where we can go creatively and entertainment-wise with the new system, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, man, I was really excited about the
most aggressive
PS2.
challenge was the semiconductor. So the current chipset utilized for half-micron semiconductor technology. But what we are now challenging is 0.18 very, very high-end semiconductor technologies. It was very, very difficult. Finally, we could develop the nice chipset for CPU. We call it that emotion engine. That contains over 10 million transistors on the chip. That's a little bit bigger than the latest Pentium 3.
We have built the fastest multimedia processor on the planet. What allows us to achieve this performance is by having a very dedicated and single-minded design for the chip. Other chips in the world have to appear in everything from vacuum cleaners to PCs and the desktop. What we designed into the Emotion Engine was the power and performance required specifically for the intensive 3D graphics capabilities and demands of the next generation of software. Plus technology like floating point coprocessors, and also abilities like the decoding of MPEG-2 video streams from our DVD disc.
By the time we make a product announcement, the technology for modem and modem connectivity may take another leap forward. Once we actually make the product announcement, then we should be able to say what kind of connectivity the PlayStation will actually have. I'd like to see controls that are not necessarily in terms of having more buttons or levers. I think there are enough already, and you only have 10 fingers.
I'm speaking to you now, so why shouldn't the device react to my voice? I should be able to wave at it and do things like this. A video camera could pick up these motions, interpret them, and generate a response on the screen. The next generation PlayStation uses 3 industry standard interfaces as part of the technology. We have IEEE 1394, which is called iLink, used in the next generation of digital video devices like still cameras and video cameras. We can now have digital media in as well as out. Now what I mean by that is being able to put my face or your face into the game. USB, which stands for Universal Serial Bus, allows us to connect to a huge variety of standard peripherals like joysticks and keyboards and mice and a whole bunch of things that haven't even been invented yet. And PCMCIA gives us connectivity to devices like modems, memory devices, even hard drives and other standard computing devices. Well, let's be very clear about this. The next generation PlayStation is designed specifically for high-end in-home entertainment. Now, right now that means video games. We will broaden the definition of what entertainment means over time, but we're not building a PC here.
It's really an interactive entertainment console. The next generation PlayStation is also backward compatible, which means that any PlayStation titles that you have in your current library will also play on the next generation PlayStation. And I think this is the first time in the interactive entertainment industry where a console has done that.
The picture has 100 years history, and the music has over 1,000 years history, but the computer has only 26 and 7 years history.
We're only starting to scratch the surface of the emotion that we can put into games. If somebody was to burst into tears as a result of experiencing a next generation PlayStation game because of the raw power of the emotion that is inside the product and the storytelling, then we've all succeeded in our jobs. We now have the power inside the next generation PlayStation to do things in software that have never ever been done before. I'm not quite sure where it's going to go, and that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah, man, I was like so excited to get the next, version of the PlayStation, which is the PS2. So I started saving after watching all this. All right. I don't want to go too much into any more of this because we already did all that. Let's go into the next disc here, disc 2. Okay, the vault. There's the demo right there on the bottom right hand side of the picture. That way you know. And they do give you a lot of demos, I have to say that. Well, we might have to check that out. Yeah, let's go ahead and check this out.
Maria, are you going to the Tokyo Game Show?
Yep, I've got my ticket.
This place is incredible.
That was killer. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the next one.
Here's the next one. I really dig this, the way this one looked. It was kind of, you know, cool looking to me. The other one they had was a little more silver. That was pretty cool. But I was really happy that I was getting them without the labels in the back. The first one was the only one I got with the label like that. So let's go ahead and open this up. And, you know, I appreciate you guys watching the other video. As I was looking at it, I was like, man, I went too fast here and make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. But as you can see right here, that, you know, I am very cautious at keeping them pristine. And here, this one opens up like that. And these mailers, once again, let me see if I can do this for you. That way you can see it. I never detached them, kept them all together. Because I like to keep everything all cool, you know. More swag. So yeah, I went too fast to these books, I think, in the first video. So once again, you know, I apologize. And here's the discs themselves. There's the backgrounds. I liked it when they changed the background. I like the other one to look like a PlayStation, you know. Now, the only thing about these discs, I mean, I don't have a disc cleaner to clean them. There is a little bit, not really dust, but, you know, there's a smudge here and there. I try not to touch them with my fingers, you know. See, put that like that. And I try not to scratch them by doing that crap either. Now, double checking these as I'm showing you, and to my eye, I can't see any physical scratches, man. You know? Once again, the glare, man, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to do this justice for you guys. So, yeah, man. And that's the thing is, you know, when I did the first video, I should have done this properly like this. So I apologize. But we'll go ahead and hop into this one.
So, my hunt continues for scratches. Well, man, you know, I for this one, I am seeing not really much of anything except for a little bit, but not. It's kind of hard to see, man. But once again, they do need a little cleaning because there are some smudges. Disc 2 is similar to Disc 1. There's very slight few scratches, but hard to see. But it's kind of there, but kind of hard to see. All right, let's pop this sucker in here. Let's dive in.
Hey gang, welcome to issue 3.3 of PlayStation Underground. A lot's been going on in the gaming world since last issue, so without any further ado... I said, without any further ado...
Sorry. Dude, quit playing GT2 and cue the monitor.
First, we were off to Rhode Island, where one lucky gamer won the PlayStation truck for his school for the day. Needless to say, it bumped him up a few notches in the popularity scale. After that, we hit the track with the gang from Polyphony Digital to burn some rubber and see what's under the hood of Gran Turismo 2. It's just like the real thing.
Especially for anyone who's seen you drive. Sorry.
Now, since we teased you with a quick look at my favorite game, Jammer Lammy, last issue, we thought we'd pony up the rest of the story so you can really see what makes Lammy rock. And we want to keep you all in the know about anything new regarding the next generation of PlayStation, so be sure to stop in at Tech Q&A and see what's up. I know what you're all thinking, that's cool, but what's in the vault? Glad you asked. CD2 is pushing maximum density with game demos like NFL Blitz 2000, Omega Boost, and Tiny Tank. And of course, we've got enough new downloads, alphas, and hidden codes to keep everyone happy. So keep on gaming, and I'll see you next issue.
Okay, Maggie, we're clear. Nice outfit. Hey, did you get us any Jammer Lammy t-shirts?
No.
Okay, let's see what we got. I don't remember. So that Project Wormhole thingy, you know, we never dived into it. That's going to be saved for the person who gets this collection. Let's see here, what's this all about here? I'm sorry, I don't remember. What's this? Oh, more codes. So that way you know what to do. I told you there's Easter eggs and stuff, you know. We'll dive in. Well, we might as well see what this is all about. I thought it was going to be a video. So now we get a preview of the next one. I really thought it was going to be a video. That's on me, man. I'm sorry. But these things were really badass in my opinion, you know? I thought it was cool. Alright, let's get out of here. It wasn't what I thought. But hey, you know, it happens sometimes here on the Collector Zone. What's Jeff going to do next? Alright. Let's see here. I want to check out that PlayStation truck thing. I remember it being pretty cool. Let's check out our downloads. Now I know what I'm doing. I was sitting there thinking, after watching the video of the on the second disc, the last one we looked at, I was like, there's more downloads, I think. So I deeply apologize for that one. Now, Bugs Bunny Lost in Time, I did own that and I had fun with it and I sold it. I have my save space still. And all these, yes, I downloaded, to have on my, card there. So that way, if I ever play it again, a lot of times I sell things and rebuy it back. Alright, let's, I want to check that out last. Let's go back to that kid who won that prize, man. I remember that being pretty cool. I just passed it up, didn't I? Let's see here. There we go. Top of here.
You're in the 8th grade, one of hundreds of kids. Hardly anyone knows your name. Then one night a phone call comes in. Was it real or was it a dream?
I was playing Final Fantasy VII, and then I get that call, and I told it too. I didn't believe me. I thought it was a friend telling a prank or something, because I told him I joined this and what I could win.
It's an official from Fox TV. She says that out of over 100,000 entries, you won the grand prize. Lots of cool PlayStation stuff for your home and something very special that would visit your school. The PlayStation Touring Attraction. 18 wheels of video game excitement. All your classmates could try the latest PlayStation games thanks to you.
I called some of my friends and told them. They didn't believe me. I had to have my mom tell them.
It was a Tuesday night. I was upstairs. Jason was doing his own thing, and he got the call, and he couldn't believe it. Yep, he thought it was a prank.
Then they still didn't believe me. I brought in some of the stuff to show them. They still didn't believe me. I said, you can go out and buy that. When I got my stuff on the box, they had a little writing, congratulations. I brought that in. They said, you could have scanned that on the computer.
But even your most skeptical friends back off when your school principal gets a call from contest executives.
Someone called from Sony indicating that we had a national winner, and that was the first I heard of it. And it was Jason Moreira that won the national contest.
The big day finally unfolds in your school parking lot. Your classmates can hardly stay in their seats. You go on local TV.
A PlayStation, 25 games for it.
You get more prizes.
Got you MLB 2000. It's another one.
Then it's on to the truck. You're in 8th grade, one of hundreds of kids. Now almost everyone knows your name. What will you remember 3 years from now?
Everything. I'll remember everything.
I thought that was pretty cool. I wonder where that kid's at today. Was that his only claim to fame? I know those kids probably never forgot about him. Alright, let's dive into, yes, all about the next gen. As I was watching these, I remember when I first got these, I was saving up for the PS2 because I wanted one bad. Let's dive in.
How are game developers reacting to the next generation of PlayStation? As a PlayStation Underground subscriber, you get inside access.
All we're seeing here today is the tip of the iceberg.
You're going to see a much more detailed modeling, much more detailed worlds.
A prediction for Road Rash could possibly, on the next generation PlayStation, we would go from 300 polygons for bike and rider combination to somewhere from 2,000 to 3,000 faces.
The fact that you can actually render something like Toy Story on the PlayStation in real time is just, awesome. And it's
really exciting to see a home platform that's going to have even surpass the power of some of the high-end military machines that we've worked with in the past.
I think it's absolutely incredible that we've got a supercomputer in a game machine.
The poly counts, the sound, the texture memory, we can bring everything together into a really cool, compelling storyline.
It'd be really cool if you would walk through a hallway and the lights would actually be carried with you like a torch, for instance.
What you're going to see is a little more randomness and the ability to control the character.
Because the game is all about hiding in the shadows so the guards can't see you. But if the guards had a torch with them, that would completely change the way you play the game.
You'll be able to get bodies swinging around and you'll have more control. You'll be actually able to screw up a little easier, which is nice for a gamer.
We want to take you out into huge, vast regions of space with giant cruise ships and planets and space stations where you're a little tiny dot and the space station's miles and miles long.
For a driving game, for example, crashing into a wall, not only will you damage your car, but you'll damage the wall, and maybe repeated crashing into a wall will even knock it down.
We want to do things that nobody's ever seen before.
In a way, you will be able to see characters talk to each other, react. There will be like when you impact somebody up, you will see his reaction, his facial reaction.
You'll be able to interact with characters that feel like living entities with facial expressions and emotional reactions.
It's all going to behave like real life, and nobody will have had to sit down for hours and animate it.
I can't think of anything right off that we won't be able to do on the next generation PlayStation.
The roof is off.
To me, looking back, oh, this is pretty killer, man. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into this too. Okay, see what we get. That was a fun demo to play. And Spiral the Dragon was cool. I just never got into this series, but I did play these demos. It's kind of cool. Being able to play Metal Solid, I like Metal Solid Gear. I love James Bond, so it was pretty cool. And Pac-Man, this was a trip, man. I was like going, platformer Pac-Man. Platformer Pac-Man. If I could say it right. I don't remember that one. Let's I'll go back to this one. You know, I enjoy skateboarding games, especially the Tony Hawk series. This one I didn't play. Being an ex-skater, you know, I did get into them. Let's look at the other one. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. I want to check this out. Growing up in the 80s, I watched some wrestling. I mean, the Von Erichs lived in San Antonio, and you know, I used to work for the YMCA, and Eric would work out there, and I would run into him. Iron Sheik comes to mind, Hulk Hogan, of course. So I'm those old school wrestlers. So did I play this game? No. All right, let's go ahead and dive into the next one.
Here's my next one. Now, in the eBay listing, you know, I listed every one of them with the numbers and all that. That way you know. And this is when talking about the PlayStation 2 coming out. That was kind of cool, I thought. Let's go ahead and open this up here. This one has a little more stuff to it. All right. And a lot of cool. This says Tokyo Game Show. That was kind of cool. They do the behind the scenes stuff, man. And that's one thing I liked about the PlayStation Underground. It's not only do you get demos and stuff, because like right here it talks about your demos. You know, but right here, let me try to do this right for you guys. You know, they talk about the shows they go to, and they give you like a little inside look, man. So that was kind of cool. Now, make sure you show you all the pages. More swag. Tell you what, the PlayStation had swag, man. Right, renew now, you know. Save $5 on your next subscription to the PlayStation Underground CE magazine. $24.95 right there. It's really $29, it says. So, and that's 1997, 98 money. And of course, you know, send this in. And a card that came with my PlayStation, that's why I sent in. And that's how I got this. And then told my friends, you know, about it. They'd come over and check this out. I'd never let people borrow these because, you know, they're cardboard. There's that right here that we could read a little bit about it. They were, you know, cardboard, you know, cases. Yeah, that's the only one here. Here's your DualShock controllers and memory cards. Go ahead and open this up here. So yeah, over the years, man, I did appreciate these. And once again, you know, I am straining my eyes. I'm like going, are you sure there's no scratches? I'm not seeing anything, guys. So, you know, I just like to be upfront about everything. That's how I run the Collector Zone. You know, I treat people the way I want to be treated. So when you buy anything from the Collector Zone, and once again, thank you for your support. This is how I get my new collectibles. I pass on my collection. And of course, if I'm not using them or not, you know, doing anything with them, I like to make sure, you know, this goes to a good home. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. So let's go ahead and dive into this one.
All right. On my hunt for scratches. Well, I'm really trying to see here, and disc 1 here has a few. Once again, a cleaning would be nice. I wish I had something to clean this with. There's some little dust particles. And of course, when I wipe that off, got a little thumbprint kind of thing going on. Oh my goodness. Okay, so disc 1 has a few light scratches. Disc 2 could use a cleaning, but I see very few. Okay, let's go ahead and pop this in. Sorry for the squeaking of the chair. I know some of you guys watching the videos in the past. Hey Jeff, what about some WD-40? Let's dive in.
Hey gang, welcome to another fun-filled and action-packed issue of the PlayStation Underground CD magazine.
Maggie, what's with the outfit?
What? It's our holiday issue. I just thought I'd wear something a little more festive.
Oh, I see. And here I thought you were planning a pre-dawn raid on the citizens of Whoville.
Whatever, Ebenezer. Just because I'm the only one around here with any holiday spirit.
Fine. Continue, please.
As I was saying, we've been doing tons of globetrotting to pack a lot into issue 3.4. First, we headed back to Japan for the official unveiling of the next generation of PlayStation. You're finally gonna get a chance to see what this incredible hardware can do. Then we took a bite out of the Big Apple with Jammer Lammy's band Milk Can at their premiere party at the famous New York club, The Roxy. After that, it was off to Los Angeles where we spent a few days hanging out with the creators of CTR, Crash Team Racing, and Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. Wait till you see how these guys spend their free time. What holiday would be complete for any gamer without some new games for their library? So stop by the vault and sample some hot new demos before filling out your wish list. Oh yeah, we've added a few new features and surprises to this issue, so check it out.
Oh, you mean like your nifty new outfit?
Did I mention that I'm your secret Santa this year?
What? It's just a little joke.
Yeah, very little.
Yes, we are going to check out that PlayStation too. Alright. Hop in here and check out the Tokyo Game Show for sure. Let's check out our codes. We'll change up the intro, that's kind of cool. I really don't remember. Alright. Good old Tony Hawk. Always, like I said, driver. Now, if you watched the first video before I did this deep dive, my second collection included the video game driver. So it's just a disc, but you get the game. And now you can download, if you get this and then you get the other collection, you can download the code and go forth from there. Oh yeah, we already all just okay. I wanted to mention that Driver video game. It's a fun video game. All right. All right. Let's dive in. I really love that you could see this before it coming out, and I remember I was so excited for it. Once again, I'm your average collector, so you know I had to save up for this dive in.
What's 10 times more powerful than any console out there now? What plays DVD movies? And what works with your current PlayStation games and lets you use your existing controller, memory card, and other licensed Sony peripherals? If you haven't heard by now, it's PlayStation 2 coming to North America in the fall of 2000. How's it changing games? We sent a team to Japan for a closer look. Keep in mind that we're giving you sneak previews of games that are very early in development. This game is called Bouncer from Square. It's not a rendered CG movie, it's someone playing in real time. The PS2 is able to crunch millions of numbers and render all these details on the fly. Check out the fire and the spraying water. They're made up of thousands of particles. Never before could so many particles be on screen at once, offering a new level of realism. This is Namco's Tekken Tag Tournament. The models are more complex than ever before. The blades of grass can move individually in the wind. Watch how the light moves across the stone. You can't do this without substantial computing power. In Dark Cloud, an RPG from Sony Computer Entertainment, hair and cloth can move subtly. The main character builds a village on the fly. All kinds of new gameplay are possible. In A-Train from ArtDink, you build cities and then manage their railroad systems. PlayStation 2 gives this 6th version of the game the fastest action ever, with more trains and full 3D for the first time. A new DualShock 2 analog controller comes with the PlayStation 2, and it does something really cool. It registers not just which button you push, but how hard you push it, to 256 levels of pressure sensitivity. In Gran Turismo 2000, that means more sensitive acceleration and braking. You can push the edge of the car's performance with greater precision. The controller also affects games like the new Ninja Gaiden title coming from Tecmo.
If you press lightly, the ninja throws his star short. If you press hard, he throws it far. How hard do you want to punch? How high do you want to jump? I just love all the new control the DualShock 2 allows.
We switch now to the battlefields of 16th century Japan. It's Kessen from Koei. The East takes on the West in a historic struggle for the fate of the country. You control as many as 200 troops on screen at one time. The game's producer explains what's happening.
We use what we call agent technology. When you move a group, its members are aware of each other and act individually, adjusting to what others are doing around them. The result is very lifelike. The new console also makes it possible for characters to express emotion. I've dreamed of this for 20 years, that the power of games could be combined with the grand sweep and emotion of movies. The time has come for this game.
Hundreds of companies worldwide have signed on to explore technical and creative power that no one's ever had before. We can't predict what games will look like, but we can commit to helping you as a PlayStation Underground subscriber try them first. It's not a bad way to be starting a new century.
Needless to say, I was excited for it. Alright, so let's see what this is all
Hey
about.
gang, since you have to get your holiday shopping done anyway, don't forget to drop by the Threads area and pick up some new stuff, like this Gran Turismo 2 watch or this Jammer Lammy signature tee. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next issue.
You know, I was like, Wasn't expecting a video. Just more of like a recap. See here. Now we know it's not a video. I remember being excited when I picked this up at the mailbox. Alright, let's get out of here. Yeah, I remember when I get in the mailbox, I was like, yes! Let's dive in deeper into the world of PlayStation. Let's see what's going on. I'm a big Crash Bandicoot fan, so let's dive in, check it out.
How do you kick butt as a kart racer? CTR, or Crash Team Racing, has been called by at least one reviewer the best kart game ever. Now it gives you even more ways to take on your friends. We asked the developers at Naughty Dog to show us why it's great, how to get the most out of it, and how you can get the inside edge that leaves your friends in the dust. When we caught up with them, they were trying to kick each other's butts at a nearby track.
Naughty Dog are huge fans of the kart racing genre. We're also extremely into multiplayer games, and we really wanted to bring the two of them to the PlayStation. And in America, this is the first time actually that it's really been done for the PlayStation. So far, the press has been extremely enthusiastic about the game. I think one of the things that they're most excited about, besides the technology and the fact that the engine is so beautiful and so clean and crisp, is the fact that there are so many options. You can either do arcade mode, which is just get in and race against other cars, and you can do that 1 or 2 player. You can go versus mode, 1, 2, 3, or 4 player, so you can play against your friends with a multi-tap. You can go time trial mode, which is just you and the course in your best time. There's a relic race, which allows you to race around the course, and there are time boxes set out that you can hit that kind of freeze the clock for a little bit of time, so it's a little bit more strategy. There's an adventure mode where you collect gems, you collect trophies, you collect the things that Crash games are famous for giving you, and go for that 100%. And then also there's a battle mode, which is kind of a totally different take on the racing, and you can go in with 1, 2, 3, or 4 players, and basically there's no finish line. There's just missiles, rockets, shields. It's a match to the last man standing, and we have a lot of options there for teams, 2 on 2, 3 on 1. We can do a lot of different things.
These two guys designed the torturous tracks that are going to challenge you. We asked them what will stand out and how you can get an edge.
I'm really proud about the big air. I think that the vertical gameplay in this racing game is something we've never seen before in any game, and the idea of the hang time meter and trying to get big jumps and trying to get big air so that you land and you get the big turbos. That we've seen people, they're just very addicted to trying to find places within the track that they can get larger jumps.
Some of the other things we tried to focus on was giving each track a specific theme. In the sewer round, there's a half pipe that you race in, going up and down on the turns and sort of catching air on the lips of the pipe. And then another themed level we have is the castle level, where essentially all of the turns are 90 degrees. So it's a lot of right angles that you have to navigate very quickly and sharply.
A lot of racing games really are about soft control, and you have to just like work really hard just to stay on the track. And we decided early on that we were going to give the player very tight control, and then within that, make the gameplay complicated so that you had to choose good lines and you had to avoid the obstacles and really work hard to maximize your lap times.
We've got a pretty sophisticated turbo system where the player can achieve turbos through at least 4 different ways. Through a combination of using all 4 types of those turbos, you can, on some tracks, almost be in a constant turbo for an entire lap.
One tip for being the best driver possible, you've got to hit the tops of the whoop-de-doos. You'll see like a bunch of bumps coming in a row in order to really get off those. If you hit the back side of one, you're coming in, boom, you aren't moving forward anymore because you like slam into the back of it. So if you hit it, if you can nail the top of it, you come in and you'll like, go over the top.
Something really cool about this game is that you can play with friends and select from more than 12 characters, including the bad guys. And there's a new bad guy, Enoxide. Here's where he came from.
As we were building the space round, it just clicked. Everything fell into place. Why not an alien? Jason had the idea of 4 legs. Our Japanese producers had the idea of the very racer helmet-like design. Several American producers had the feedback of the dreads coming out of the sides of the helmet. It was a very good mix of all the input.
Before we left, we found out that the Naughty Dog developers created an exclusive download for subscribers like you.
As a special thank you to PlayStation Underground viewers for all your years of playing Crash games, we have on this PlayStation Underground a secret character that can be unlocked only with the PlayStation Underground. Play it, tease your friends.
Tease your friends? Tease your friends? What could you possibly tease your friends about?
Well, you know, I'm not very good at my own game, so I had to throw
CTR. It's no ordinary racing game, but the chance to take your friends on in the ultimate battle on wheels. Good luck kicking butt.
You know, I had Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo, and it was okay. I just wasn't a fan. And I remember now why. This game kicked ass. Being a huge Crash fan, you know, I was all about that. So let's go ahead and dive into the Tokyo show.
If you think you've seen it all in video games, you probably haven't been here yet. In North America, there are over 650 PlayStation titles, but in Japan, a larger percentage of the population plays video games, and they support over 2,000 titles. That means that there are all types of games you probably haven't seen before. Here are just a few of them for you to check out. Interactive dramas are like soap operas on your PlayStation. You don't drive the characters, you just watch, and make the occasional choice, and then reach for your hanky. Parappa the Rapper started a craze. There's a whole new genre called rhythm action games, with more titles than you can shake a stick at. Or whatever else you're into shaking. The next time you're stuck in traffic, entertain the people around you with this. It's called Car Hop Dancing. A PlayStation game helps you get your moves together. Trucking in Japan is different. Drivers get to tattoo their trucks with custom decals. This game lets you race and win money to pay for fancier designs, so you can have the hottest looking rig on the road. Is there a title that you'd like to see imported? Contact the PlayStation Imports department at these addresses and put imports on the subject line. As a subscriber, we'll keep it connected with the far corners of the PlayStation world.
It's always cool to see that. Okay. And you know, when I had this disc set, I was like, those Event 1 sections was always my favorite. And download codes. Let's check out the codes. Did we check out the codes already? I don't remember. I think we did. Yeah. Well, might as well just go through them while we were right here, you know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, because I talked about Driver. Oh my goodness. Alright, let's get out here. I just want to double check everything. See if there's something cool I want to show you. You know, this video's getting long. Let's dive into the second disc. I'm sorry, guys. Alright. Toomba 2. I vaguely remember playing some of these games. Now, Dino Crisis I did play. I enjoyed that. I never played that. You know, and when this demo came around, I just never played it. I don't know why. I probably need to play this before this goes into the hands of another collector. And that one too. I can't remember if I played it or not. I don't remember. Army Man, that's a fun game. I never played this one. I need to check out some of these. Well, you know I played the demo back in the day, so I just don't remember. And Tomb Raider, you know, who doesn't love Tomb Raider? Twisted Metal 4, we gotta check that out. Yeah, let's go to the Twisted Metal video. Let's check this shit out. I always love those Twisted Metal games. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the next one. Here's the next one. This is the one I really liked. It was the Christmas one. And we'll dive in here and show you what I'm talking about. But one thing about these things that I liked, you know, was that, you know, not only did you get to hook up and stuff, but you had Easter eggs hidden. Now, once again, this is a old rookie mistake here. I wish I didn't tape this on here. And let me show you it closer here. You know, there's tape right there. Okay. So you can cut this, but I don't recommend taking the tape off. Once again, I'll let you see right here. That way you see. But I was trying to put my codes here. I'll do some of the codes when I power this up here. But I want to show you, you know, the books. I want to show you the books better. So Spawn, oh man, that game's badass. Oh, you can see it. Sorry. Try not to get my hand in the way, you know. Let's see here. Okay, this came out a different way. Okay, so you know, let you see that. And then show you it like this. Try and do it justice, man. It's always talking about the swag and the scribe. And once again, you know, you can tear it right off here, which I never did. So it's kind of cool that I got everything here for you guys, for you collectors. The only thing I regret is doing that. Let's go ahead and look at the discs. As far as the teeth go, these were all okay. It was that one that
have them broken. Once again, I'm like, this is, you really can't get any better than this, guys. I mean, outside of, just, there's, I like to see maybe some little bit of dust, but I'm not seeing much of anything, but good, good little, you see there's like a little particle, something on there. I would, if you have a disc cleaner, I mean, go ahead and clean it. I have never used cleaners on this, so these are OG original. Jeff taking care of, this shit here. That's what you see, all. Yeah, man. Good old Crash. I love Crash Bandicoot. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this one. All right, back on my hunt. Now, keep in mind, when you saw the first video of me looking at them, and then now you're going to me playing them, those are two different times. So that's why I wanted to get in a different lighting to see if I could find anything. Disc 1 has very few, but not, it's hard to see. I mean, I'm really angling it. Disc 2 of this, you can see a little bit as well, but both needs a good cleaning. I mean, I'm just wiping off a little, dust. Let's put this in here. All right. I know that chair is getting on some of you guys' nerves. All right. I need to get WD-40. Let's hop in here.
For me?
Okay. Let's see here. Briefing. Behind the scenes. Always have to hop in here. Once again, we're checking to our downloads. Oh, hell yeah, I remember downloading this. I have all these. I know I do. I might just have to double check my stuff. Yes, because the Director's Cut had a lot of cool stuff to it. I wasn't a fan because I liked the original's intro, but yeah, I mean, the Director's Cut, I own both of them, and then of course sold them. Then that, you saw the video I did of the remix. Alright. Tech Q&A. Archive codes. Alright, let's see what we got here. You know, one thing's for sure, these things were chocked full of secret stuff, man. Next time you guys play some of these games, there you go.
As you remember, you know, this is the one that has that little cheat sheet taped to it, so I never really, you know, used the codes while I'm showing you all this, so I think I'll do that. There's a code for the second disc. I'll hop into that. We'll do that when we come across that bridge. Am I circling back again? I don't want to miss anything, but I don't remember. I think I might have. If I have, I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, alright. I just want to show you all the codes, man. Some lucky collector's going to get all this stuff here. Let's check out the import. I love Metal Slug. Alright, let's get out of here. I was almost tempted to play, and but that's not what it's about. The vault. Let's check out the vault. We have moved to this too. Oh, okay. I don't know why they did that. Alright. Let's do the event center. Always like these. Hell yeah, we can do the Comic-Con.
Over 40,000 comic book fans recently came together in San Diego, California for this year's Comic-Con International. Since it's the largest comic convention in the United States, every comic book publisher was represented. Because many of the comic characters also star in the hottest video games, the PlayStation folks were on hand to give conventioneers a taste of the upcoming titles. The PlayStation Underground brought the cameras along to show you what goes on inside a comic convention of this magnitude. As you can see, comics were not the only focus of this show. Many of the booths were lined with toys, games, collectibles, and every other comic-related item you can think of. These are just a couple of the comic characters you'll see in upcoming video games. And this is just some of the cool stuff that can be found at every booth. Looks like just about everyone's a subscriber. Ever wonder what some of those props from the movies look like up close? Check these out. Where comic book art leaves off, gameplay begins. Can a comic book such as Spawn be successfully translated into an interactive video game? Fans at the show seem to think so, once they tested the upcoming Spawn game on PlayStation. They also took a liking to the PlayStation Underground CD, grabbing up thousands of copies, as well as other valuable reading material. If you get the chance, we at the PlayStation Underground highly recommend attending Comic-Con International. You never know who you might meet.
Check out my playlist for my con visits. You know, the Retro Expo and the other one I did. I have like 2 or 3 playlists. Check them out. All right, let's see here. Let's go to the PlayStation truck. See what's going on with that.
It has 22 wheels, weighs almost 40 tons, and cost over $1 million to build and operate for a year. Inside, 55 people at a time can preview unreleased PlayStation games in air-conditioned comfort. It's the PlayStation truck. Soon, it could be coming to a town near you. Right now, it's logging 5,000 miles a month, appearing at sporting events, concerts, fairs, and festivals in a year-long tour. What makes it all work out? Special technology and a unique team of 3 people.
I've been driving the bigger trucks probably 30 years. Well, it's the smoothest ride I've ever had because of the additional axle on the trailer. I got lucky and got 2 good guys to work with. We got a good thing going, the 3 of us here.
I'm 25 years old. I like what I do, and I wouldn't trade it for any other job right now.
I'm 26 years old, going on 14. I'm a tour manager, and we basically run the truck.
Setup at the start was taking about, I'd say, 6 to 7 hours with approximately about 5 people. Now that we've been on the tour for about 4 months, and we've probably got it down about 2.5 hours on setup and breakdown. Well, the Sony PlayStation truck can hold 55 people at one time. There's 33 consoles in there that are the top games. There's about 12 to 13 unreleased games.
Our featured game today is Kart World Series. This Kart World Series is not yet on the market.
This truck has just about everything that your living room would have. We have nice recliner leather chairs. We do have a big screen TV, which is an 8-foot video wall that we run championship games on it. It's by far the #1 exhibit at any place we go to. People don't know exactly what we are or who we are, but as soon as they find out, everybody's there. The truck opens up both sides, boom, you get people, 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 people. You gotta almost tear these kids' fingers off the controllers to get them out of there to let some of these other people in line.
Our target demographic is, 15, 16 to 25, but, we get 5 to 50.
I love this truck. This is a pretty cool truck, actually.
Parents come up to, the front of a very long line and say, oh, my child's in there, I just have to get my child, we've got to go. And then coming in the truck and seeing that parent tucked away in a corner somewhere, just going at one of the games.
It's got a lot of PlayStation games in it, for one. A lot of TVs, a lot of hookups. Sound system's great.
The PlayStation Truck. 60,000 visitors in the first 5 months. It could be coming soon to a parking lot near you. Check PlayStation on tour at www.playstation.com.
I never had a chance to check that out. I wish I did. But the cons I did. I enjoyed those thoroughly. Check out those videos. Alright, we did downloads. Try not to make this a long ass video. Yeah, let's dive into the next disc. Disc 2. Okay, now we'll check out what we got for the demos first, but then we'll hop into some secret codes. I want to demonstrate that to you guys. And these discs, other discs have them, and the stuff I've written down for you, you have there. So these are your demos. I love that Crash series. I did a video on the channel of the remaster of all the Crashes, 1, 2, and 3. Check that out if you want. Ghost in the Shell, that's a trippy game. I love it. When I played this demo, I fell in love with it. And, let me show you a picture of me when I scored this. See, that's 1990s Jeff right there. And yes, after playing this demo, I got it, and there's that smile on my face to go back in time. that thing seal's worth some money. But of course, I always open these games up. That's a me thing. All right. So let's check out this video. That was a trip. Okay, so let's do, this one says snow, so we got left one, left one, left two, right one at the same time. There you go. Little secrets. All right, let's see here. This one's going to be square, triangle, square, triangle. Maybe I could do it fast.
Resident Evil 2.
Nice little Easter eggs and it's still snowing. Alright, let's do another one here. Triangle, circle, okay. Triangle, circle, square, circle. I gotta probably do it fast. Triangle, circle, square, circle. That was a popular hit back in the 90s for those who didn't know. And still snowing. On the third underground, number 3, I wrote those codes behind the, the box that's there, which I still apologize for. But this one I taped, the codes to the thing, so I apologize for that. But, whoever gets this collection, pop in this too. There's videos of Blasto, and then we have Crash 2 video, Spawn video, and Apollo 440. They were like a ska type band, and that's for this 2 on number 3. And you saw me showing you the codes, so if you get this, don't forget those. And there's other ones, on these other discs. This 2 and this one, you type in, a combination of triangle, square, circle, and X to reveal things. And of course, left one, left two, right one, right two, all at the same time. All right, so let's go to the next one.
All right, here is the last one. I appreciate you guys watching the video all the way through. Big shout out to all my new subscribers. Oh my God, when the channel grows, my heart grows. And I appreciate you guys hanging out at the Collector Zone. Keep an eye on the Collector Zone eBay store because you know what? I put stuff up there all the time. And this is one of them. At the time of this recording, this is still available. Amazing. I thought it was going to go a little faster, and I have watchers. I have people want to check it out. And that's the reason why I was kind of inspired to do another video. And then here's your list of some games here. Once again, all this, all the extra stuff, the mailers, as I call them. I'll go ahead and show you this here a little bit better. They're still attached. I never felt the need to mail any more in. I was a subscriber and I was happy. Let's go ahead and man, Twisted Metal Medieval is a killer game. All right, let's go ahead and open this up here. And, you know, let me show you the discs. All the teeth are good to go on this one. It was just the only other one that had a white backing just like this. That way you can see all this. Trying to show you all angles, man. That way you can see how cool these are. Like I said, I went through each and every one of these, man. I was like, I want to make sure my eyes are not fooling me. But I don't see any scratches. So this whole set is in super cool condition. So, you know, it really doesn't get better than this, guys. Let's go ahead and hop into this one.
All right, so looking at disc one, I'm trying to see if I see any scratches, but I don't. You know, my eyes are getting old or what? I don't know. I don't see it. It looks pretty decently clean for this age. And of course, disc two, I think I see one. Oh man, I can't really tell. Might be glare. But hey, both needs to be cleaned, so I apologize deeply for not having cleaner to clean these before you get them. So that's the only thing you need to do. Just go ahead and put it in here. And I hope you enjoyed this little look through of all these underground CDs. I wish I did originally. Let's go ahead and dive in.
Hey there, get a load of my new floating studio. Hey, Mr. Producer, what do you think of the view?
I wouldn't know since you told management there wasn't room for a control booth in the blimp.
Oh, that's right. It's good to be queen.
Can we please get started?
No problemo. On our last journey to Japan, we stopped by the Sony Computer Entertainment Building to check out the new Legend of Dragoon game. Wait till you see the footage we brought back. Then it was off to the green to interview the developers of Hot Shots Golf 2.
We'll talk about how they made an already great game even better. Wrestling fans are really gonna love this issue. We hung out with the WWF great D'Lo Brown to get some hot tips on how to smack down your opponent both in the ring and on your PlayStation. Most people think that being a gaming journalist means sitting on your butt all day. Well, we gave some lucky members of the press a chance to get out from behind their word processors and into the paintball arena. Check out the event center to see these guys in action.
Yeah, that was lots of fun. You know you weren't supposed to be aiming at people's heads, right?
Hey, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Besides, if you didn't stand up every 5 minutes to ask, "Are we done yet?" you wouldn't have gotten shot so much.
Yeah, but I was on your team.
Okay, moving on. As always, we have a fine selection of the hottest game videos in the vault, including Spider-Man, MTV Music Generator, and Siphon Filter 2. So if you didn't get them for Christmas, they're probably on sale somewhere.
Don't forget about Wormhole.
I'm getting to it. For the past 7 issues, you've seen us go behind the scenes of video game development and put together our own game, Project Wormhole. We're finishing off this section by putting the complete demo, including level editor, in the vault. So go check it out. Well, that does it for me. I'll see you all next issue with my footage from PlayStation 2 launch in Japan and my E3 report. Until then, happy gaming!
Now, those demos, like the one that, you know, they were just talking about towards the end there, this is exclusive to these, so the only way to play those demos, especially the one they created, is to have this issue. Alright, let's hop over here. There's our download station. Let's check this shit out. Medal of Honor, that's a really cool game. I never jacked with that. So we only got 3, huh? Well, that's probably because this too. Yeah, so you could go to these other ones. I done screwed up. Alright. And of course, you're back. Alright, let's go back here. We will be checking out the events there, because that's one of my favorite things to look at. Tech Q&A. Imports. Let's see what we got. Far out. Alright. What I need to do is revisit this before I let it go. Right now, at the time of this recording, it's still there, up for grabs. Cool moves. What's this here? I don't remember. See what it does.
In Spiral
okay.
2, there are a couple tricky points. One is the Fracture Hills level where you have to save Spinner's friend. Right here, I'm going to go ahead and show you a really cool move on how to unleash your friend from behind the door. Hold down the square button to reach this super speed power-up right here, because the object here is to follow this pathway and through the various doors, and you can't stop or get hit once, because if you do, you lose the super speed power-up and you have to start over again. Go through that portal there, and over this little narrow bridge, and jump at the last second right here, and break down the door, and her friend will be right there for you.
Oh, thank goodness you broke that door down.
Once you save Spinner's friend, you'll get an orb. Now that you've seen it on video, good luck.
In the level Papu's Pyramid of Crash Team Racing, there's a hairpin turn at the end of the level that you can totally bypass by using this shortcut. Take a look. Keep in mind you're either going to need an Aku Aku or Uka Uka mask or a turbo boost to make it. Once you get the mask, save it for here. Right at the end of the wall, activate your mask and do a 180 turn over to the other side of the track. So there it is.
In my job, I get a lot of calls from customers on Siphon Filter, level 14, the Stronghold Catacombs. In this level, you have to follow a scientist to the cell where Fagin is being held. And there are a few things you must not do in this level if you're going to complete it successfully. You got to only use your silenced weapons in this level. It's very important to go down the left-hand corridor here. There's a right-hand corridor, but it'll just lead you around in circles. Then you set about following the scientist. One of the most important things about this level is to let the scientist get a good head start on you, because you're going to trigger certain enemies along the path. If you have to take those enemies out and the scientist can see what's going on, you're going to lose the level because he'll be alerted to your presence. So as you see here, I'm taking out the guards while the scientist is safely out of sight and out of earshot. Now this is where a lot of people slip up on this level. The scientist stops and talks to two guards down at the end of the hall. We'll look here through the sniper rifle viewer. It's very important that these two guards are not killed. I repeat, not killed. If you kill these two guards, just about anything you do after that, it won't matter. You're going to lose. The scientist remains down at the end of the hall and is close enough that the murdered guards do in fact alert him to your presence. Even if it doesn't end the level immediately, you will not be able to end the level when you reach the door. So instead of killing the two guards, we're going to sneak down the hallway. And I do stress sneak. You must hold down the X button and move slowly. Now these guys aren't too bright. They're a little drowsy because you can get this close and then just go down the right-hand corridor and they never see you. And those guards won't give you any more trouble as long as you don't double back this way. Through the rest of the level, you're just going to have to take out anybody in your path quietly without the scientist around. And this guard here around the corner, the last guard you're going to need to take out in this level, can be very tricky. What I always try to do is peer around the corner to get him on my radar. You can now see the green dot moving towards me on my radar, and I can level my gun and take him out as he comes around the corner. And if everything goes right, you'll never even see the scientist at the door because it'll fade to black and you'll see a movie clip. This is a cool move for Siphon Filter, level 15, Farcom Warehouse. In this level, you have to locate viral carriers and tag them. And I talked to a surprising number of people who can't seem to figure out how to tag the viral carriers. When you get the first checkpoint, when you find Erickson, you do find a viral scanner. To locate the bodies, equip your viral scanner, and then go press the L1 button, so you'll look through the viral scanner. Now there's a body, we've located it, but as far as tagging it goes, you absolutely positively must turn off the scanner. And then go to where you saw the body, stand on top of the crate, and simply press the triangle button, thereby tagging the body, obtaining a checkpoint, and one of the objectives of the game. And that's how you scan a viral carrier in Siphon Filter, level 15, Farcom Warehouse.
Today I'm going to show you one of the coolest areas in Twisted Metal 4. The level is Neon City. There's a really cool secret area in this level that you can get a lot of weapons and power-ups, but it is hard to get to. Let me show you how it's done. Basically what you want to do is look for the train tracks and follow it all the way up the tunnel, just like this. Collect the power-ups on the way up. When you get to the top, slow down a little bit, collect the health, and turn around. Look for that little warp point, and just go forward. See this ramp right here? What you want to do is you want to turbo off this ramp into the room on the other side. Now that you're in this hidden room, what you want to do is you want to face this wall right here. Move forward and on top of the helicopter launch pad. Now the helicopter will pick you up, will start taking you to a hidden area. On your way, shoot all the enemies below you. Once the helicopter's dropped you off, move forward into the secret area. Collect all the weapons and power-ups here. When you've gotten all the power-ups, go to the jump pad to exit the secret area. And that's how it's done.
The cool move I'm going to show you today is the corkscrew turn from Laguna Seca on Gran Turismo 2. Basically, the corkscrew turn is one of the hardest turns to execute. What you need to do is approach it towards the right-hand side or more the outside lane. You slow down, shift it to a lower gear, and drop down, and you can cut a little bit without being penalized for taking that turn. So give it a shot.
That's pretty cool. All right. I thought you enjoyed that. Especially those who may not get this collection. Oh yeah, we got to hop in here, see what's going on with my PlayStation 2. Well, you know, our PlayStation 2. Oh man, I was so excited when this rolled around. Let's dive in.
It's the best-selling racing video game of all time. What will it be like when it runs on the PlayStation 2, a console 10 times more powerful than anyone out there now? This is Gran Turismo 2000, the next game in the Gran Turismo series produced by Kazunori Yamauchi. Recently, he gave PlayStation Underground an exclusive interview on his plans to take advantage of the new console. Although early in development, he hinted at a whole new level of video gaming.
This time out, we hope to change the way people enjoy racing games. There'll be something new in the entertainment experience and how users are part of the game. I'd like to say more, but the exact details are still being set. The biggest difference is that the PlayStation 2 will let us make the graphics and sound quality 100 times better. I want to create racing that's even more realistic than the racing you see on TV. For the first time, we can have open cars so you can see the driver. Perhaps you'll be able to choose your own helmet and racing suit. I plan to increase the number of cars, adding 5 to 10 for each territory: Europe, Japan, and North America. I might include the new Corvettes and new Camaro. There are many cars I'd like to add, but gamers should understand it takes a tremendous amount of negotiations to license a car from its maker. If you don't see your favorite car in the game, it's not because I didn't want it. Would it help if gamers wrote to manufacturers of cars they'd like to see in the game? Yes. Along with the new cars, I would like to add maybe 5 to 10 new courses, including dirt tracks and the drag racing mode. The PlayStation 2 gives us the power to change the weather as well as the time of day for each course. This will add lots of variety. We also now have the opportunity to develop a more advanced artificial intelligence. We want the computer-driven cars to react to what you do with an almost human emotion. If you cut one of them off, that driver might show his anger by racing harder against you, or he might spin and get scared and you would feel it. I can't go into more details just yet. Another new factor is the PlayStation 2's new DualShock 2 analog controller. It registers 256 levels of pressure sensitivity. We're experimenting with this and hope to use it for a more subtle control of braking. In GT1, we needed to have anti-lock braking. That's not as realistic as what we can now achieve. Gamers always ask me if car damage will ever be visible. The manufacturers don't want their cars to blow up or be battered. I feel the same way, so that will not change. But I hope to create some effect that shows the user the extent of any damage.
Plans have been announced for PlayStation 2 to be supported by a broadband network in 2001. We wondered what effect this might have on the Gran Turismo series.
I have a vision of Gran Turismo's network racing. It's much bigger than one-to-one, but I can't go into specifics yet. One thing a network could do is let racers share times and establish rankings. This is a very important part of racing games. But in addition, the network could let them share communication on how to take certain corners or courses. That is very important to me as well.
Gran Turismo is fulfilling a love for cars that Yamauchi-san has had ever since he was a boy. Now in developing the series, he gets to travel the world and test its greatest cars on its most famous tracks. But he's made a discovery.
Playing the video game has improved my real race driving versus the other way around. Just 2 days ago, I was on the circuit at Motegi in Japan, and I realized that my performance had improved drastically because I played Gran Turismo 2.
You better keep sharpening your own racing skills, because when you drive Gran Turismo 2000 on the PlayStation 2, it's a whole new level of power and intensity. Do you have the reflexes to cut it?
Man, I love that series. And yeah, it was true. When I played this version of Gran Turismo for the first time on the PlayStation 2, it was like night and day. Let's go ahead and hop into this one.
Japan, where peace and tranquility are treasured values. Except when it comes to video games, PlayStation 2 has unleashed a whole new level of power and speed. That's why gamers lined up for this long-awaited special festival in late February. PlayStation Underground is taking you inside to see what the games of the new computer entertainment system are like, and to talk with developers. At 60 frames a second instead of 30, everything's way more intense. In Street Fighter EX3, for example, you can even fight 2-on-2.
PlayStation 2's extra processing power lets you start with one character's combo, then switch to another's. 4 characters can be in on the same fight.
Another difference is that more detail can go into the graphics, as in these scenes from Onimusha. Are you watching real baseball on TV, or is this the new game from Square?
When you look at a title, sometimes you take a double take and you say, wait, is that the FMV section or is that the game? There's actually a really, really close comparison in quality between the two.
In Kessen, a real-time strategy game, you can move hundreds of soldiers at once, but each of them will think and act individually, creating lots of realism. RPGs like Dark Cloud can be fully 3D, and you can explore with 360 degrees of freedom. Everything in Ridge Racer 5 looks more realistic, including the walls you're almost crashing into at 200 miles per hour. Backgrounds in Tekken Tag Tournament are now full of action and new detail. The sky fills with fireworks in Fantavision, a new action puzzle game.
You can set up hundreds of explosions at a time, and the PlayStation 2 calculates and displays them in real time. We could not have done this before.
When you're being hunted down for lunch in Extermination, all the new detail makes it easier to get that tingly feeling at the base of your spine. And the new console's larger memory opens up huge new worlds, as in this new Border Cross game.
You're racing head-to-head against 7 other players that you couldn't have done before the PlayStation 2. Basically, anything you see that looks like snow, you can go there.
How are gamers reacting?
I loved how fast the snowboard game was. It felt totally real.
I was blown away by the quality of the games.
The emotions of the characters are very well done. They're really human.
This is just the first hint of what games will be like in the next generation of computer entertainment. Stay tuned. Our next issue will reach you in June, just after E3, with updated PlayStation 2 footage direct from the show floor. See you then!
Now, for those who gotten this far into the video, here's a little surprise. Keep an eye on the Collector's Zone YouTube channel next month. I'm scoring this gaming system that has literally all, it has a whole bunch of PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 1 games. If not the majority of them, all of them. So stick around for the Collector's Zone YouTube channel for that unboxing, reveal, and deep dive. Alright, let's go back. I'm excited to get and to show you guys, but right now it's about this. Alright. Let's go to the event center here.
They're some of the biggest names in video game journalism. 989 Studios has pulled them from behind their computers and brought them to a remote ex-CIA training facility in the Arizona desert.
The information that we put out here is real. We have trained over 130 SWAT teams from the United States, Canada, Spain, Taiwan, Kenya, a lot of other places.
For the next few hours, they'll enter the world of Gabriel Logan so that they can bring you more informative reviews of Siphon Filter 2. They've come to a fantasy camp specializing in covert operations and hostage rescue, run by two people who've done the real thing.
What we're going to be doing here this afternoon, we're going to be doing some exercises involving SWAT-type tactics, where you'll be doing some hostage rescue, some barricaded suspect type things. Get down!
A hostage has been taken. The rescuers plan a counterattack.
We're going to require 3 entry teams. There will be 3 doors to be hit, so there will be 3 5-man teams or entry teams. The other 2 5-man teams are going to be our reconnaissance element.
Weapons have been distributed. The training is over and now it's into the field. They're going to move in and risk life and limb, or at least serious bruising, to rescue the hostage. Thought their job was just playing video games. Luckily, they have better aim on the video game screen than they do in real life. Finally, they storm the building and rescue the hostage. Now that your adrenaline is pumping, you can prove that you're a better commando than they are by checking out the Siphon Filter 2 demo in the vault. But give them credit, the next time you think video game journalism is easy, ouch! Think again. Ouch!
I wouldn't do well physically trying to be Siphon Filter. All right, let's go ahead and hop into Disc 2. All right, that's a badass game. I can't speak about it highly enough. And that was, see, we're checking that. That was Medieval 2. All right, wanted to point that out. Hot Shot Golf was pretty cool. I own a couple of those. I know I played all these demos, but I don't remember playing a few of these. Ace Combat's pretty decent. I like it. Not a big motocross guy, but yeah, it's fun to play. It's just, you know, and Twisted Metal, who doesn't love that shit? So these are all your demos, pretty decent amount. Once again, this music generator thing, I'm not sure about. I know I didn't play this. I didn't have an interest. Spider-Man. I love that game. And like I said before, when I get that system, it's one of the games I plan on playing again. I enjoy it. So let's go ahead and check out the video. And that brings us to the end. What we're going to do is recap. We got a total of 9 underground, complete unbox issues with the interactive sampler disc. Now, after that last one here was the last time, I subscribed. I don't remember getting another one. I checked all my boxes. This is all I have. So let's go ahead and recap what we got here. Well, if you made it this far, we checked out some discs. We checked out all the discs. We had a little fun. I showed you the condition as best as I could. They're all in really excellent condition. It is literally like I just received them, except for some of the outer wear. Let's go ahead and show you the order here. That way you can see it. So it's got 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3. Now it says 3, 2, and there's no 3, 1. I didn't miss any months. So, and this is 3, 3. So it just jumped from 3 to 3, 2. Then 3, 4. Then here's 4. And then 4, 1. So, was there a 3, 1 at one point in time? I didn't get it. I don't know. I don't remember. But that's the only thing, because this goes 1, 2, 2, 1, and then 2, 2. Then it goes 3. So instead of being just 2, there's just a 3 here. That makes me believe that 3, 2 is the next one. So, like I said, I signed up. You paid by, the month for the, you had a thing you could pay for the year, and I paid for the year because it's cheaper. And then, I just want you to be aware here, so that way you understand. So it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, and 4, 1. And that's where I stopped. Was there more? I don't remember. I was a faithful member, and so, I don't recall. Let me go ahead and show you this all around here. It can't hurt to do all this, but I just want you to see everything here. That way you see what you're getting. And I appreciate you checking out the Collectors on eBay store. Please keep in mind, I add stuff all the time, so, check in whenever you get a moment. And, of course, throwing this in as a bonus. Well, guys, thanks for the hang time. Until next time, my fellow gamers, game on. And hopefully this goes to a person who appreciates this as much as I did. Until next time, we'll catch you in the next one. Laters.